I'm Dwayne, and today we'll be looking at the Corsair 500D PC case. So here we go. We got the Corsair 500D. Gonna dive into this thing. We'll take a look on the inside and around on the outside. As you can see, it does have a glass panel on this side, but hey, guess what? It does have one on the other side as well. I do have the plastic still left on it. I tend to like to keep the plastic on it until I know that it's going to be, I'm done putting it together and in the spot that I'm going to put it, because, well, there's been mishaps before where just nick an edge on something and man, the glass shatters. I like having the plastic on there just in case something does happen. That's just to protect me. So it does open from the front to the back. Back in my day, we used to call those suicide doors on cars, because, well, when you're driving down the road, all of a sudden the door would pop open. You could fall out. But I don't think that's going to happen to your hardware. But yeah. But it does have the door that opens this way on the right-hand side of the case and also on the left-hand side of the case. On each one of these panels on the hinges, there's a screw that sits on the top. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and take these screws out so I can take the side panels off. We can get a better look on the inside and show you more of the details. It does fit nice and snug on there. So this front panel does have some rubbers that keep it from slamming shut, but this is also all aluminum, it feels like, up in here. So it also goes a nice little texture along with the front side of the panel. So very nice. As you can see, pretty dark. But that'll give you a really nice effect when you have the lighting and stuff on the inside. So it's not really bright, but you're still going to get that nice lighting effect. Take this panel, set it to the side. And I'm going to do the same thing with the other one. Take it off so we can take a good look on each side. So as you can tell, looks like we've got a case fan in the back, case fan in the front. There's enough room in there, looks like, for 3 120mm fans. Also, which were really kind of cool, I can see from right now, we'll dive into a little deeper, is that when you can put the radiator on, you can actually take out some thumb screws and that comes out. So you can take it out, a removable panel, attach it to that, and then put it back in. I like that, that's a nice touch. Feels like the top is the same way, so it does feel like it has a removable panel up on top. Looks really good. You get the shroud. Now, something I noticed as well from this is that it's actually enclosed. So it does have screws if you want to take it apart or maybe take it off. So a lot of the cases that you see do have this front panel open, but you still have all your cables and stuff running through. That made it wide enough and a little long enough that putting your power supply in there, all your cables can stay in this, we'll call it a box area. And the only thing you need to run out of here is probably like your GPU cables, or maybe what are the little other cables that you might want to do. Usually like the front panel ones, you can run them through the back and come up and go right into the bottom of the motherboard. Your 24 pin, like normal, will come up and go through probably one of these other grommets on that side, on the sides there. Now, if you also notice, there is no hard drive cage. Right, so get your install hardware is here for all your drives. So you can put 2 full-size hard drives here. Looks like you can put 3 SSDs right in there. And I'm pretty sure that included on here is that you can also put another SSD and another SSD if you like, if you don't want to use the bigger drives. You can notice that there's a huge hole here right on the back side of the motherboard. And well, we've all got accustomed to that being there, so we can change out our cooling for our CPUs. So easily access and stuff. But you know what? It's also getting bigger because, well, gosh, we use it for cooling, right? So everything's starting to get hot. Why not let it ventilate and circulate and help cool the motherboard as well on the back side instead of blocking it off? You can see here, they're even trying to make sure that the back side looks pretty because you got glass. You've got this cable tray. It's got some thumb screws that you can also take off. And the cables are going to go up through here and go through the grommets in the front. So it's helping you route your cabling, and it's also making your cabling look better. As we jump to the back side of the case, you've got your normal I/O ports, right? We'll all recognize those. And the more trendy, right, as we're getting as we go. So you're getting the vertical GPU supports. Moving towards the bottom of the case, up here where would be the front towards the front is a whole bunch of holes and grooves and all kinds of stuff here, allowing you all kinds of configurations of being able to mount your reservoir oil. Down at the bottom where our power supply is, we do have a removable filter. Very nice, very sturdy. I mean, it's not some piece of crap. I mean, we'll be taking a look at the top right now, right? So here we got the top. I do have the plastic on it, and it does have an aluminum plate that goes across the top that gives it the design. It actually comes across, dips down, and goes over. And when you remove the plastic, what we have here is the top. And it is mounted very nicely. It's got some screws in there. Plenty of airflow though, I can see that. So it is raised up, allowing the air to flow underneath the edges and on the front and back. Plus it's perforated to allow plenty of air to go in or out of the case, depending on what you want to do, because it doesn't have to always be water cooling. Remember, you don't have to water cool everything. Underneath the top cover plate that has the triangular perforations in it, there is, believe it or not, a filter. It too is also magnetic, so it makes it easy to take it in and out. So just slide it right out, put it right back in, and boom, goes into place, and there you go. Like that. I like that. On the top of the case, right, so you've got your power and reset buttons. Of course, you've got your audio plug-in. You got your USB 3.0 connections, and you also have a Type-C connection. Looking at the front of the case, two things, okay? So if you notice, there's no access. Cd-Rom drives, what's that? Exactly, right? Nobody uses those anymore, and if you do, you can buy a USB one, plug it in, run your old games or whatever you have to do for it, and unplug it, and you don't have to worry about taking up the space, because of course we got the space now for more valuable stuff, right? We can put a, like, what is that, probably like a 360 radiator in there, and we can put our water cooling. We got all our stuff that we can put in there that's a lot more valuable. It's got a nice, cool looking front piece on there. Also behind there, so once you open up the doors and have them off, got a magnetic filter screen. Yeah, look at that. Again, nice and sturdy. It's got 8 magnets on there, easy enough to take in and out. Just go back, and it pops right back into place. It's got these small little pegs that make sure that you put it right back in the right spot. Remember earlier I was talking about there looked like some plates that were in the front and also on the top of the case that you could mount fans or probably a radiator to? Well, I was correct. This is what I was talking about. So this one came out of the front fan, and you can see that you can put 3 fans or you can put a large size radiator on there. So that makes it really nice. Because part of the struggle, I don't know about you guys, is that trying to get in there and hold it, put the screws and all that crap on the sides, kind of can be a pain sometimes. Having this piece out, be able to set it down, put the screws on the back side of it, mount your radiator or your fans, whatever it is, being able to take it and just put it back into place, and then with a couple of thumb screws, secure it. That's fabulous. That is fabulous. Overall, looking at it, I would say that it looks really good. I'm liking what I'm seeing. Gonna dive into it a little farther. Gonna go ahead and put some hardware in here and see how it fits and how it looks. We're gonna be putting the case together. What we're doing is using some of the Corsair ML fans, which means magnetic levitations, which means they're much quieter, but they're also RGB. So if we're gonna be doing RGB lighting with the fans, gotta do Commander Pro. Commander Pro controls the lighting for the fans, also for LED strips and some other things as well. We got the Corsair ML fans installed, but now what we want to do is really control the fans and the LEDs themselves, right? So we want to get that RGB cool effects and everything. Each fan comes with two connectors. One is for RGB and one is for the power. Now I've got 6 fans installed here, and I don't think my motherboard has 6 headers. So what I'm going to end up doing is using the Commander Pro. This is quite the cool thing. So the Commander Pro is, of course, the Commander. It hooks to the motherboard through USB. Now the node is going to connect to the Commander. Now the node is the one where you take your RGB lighting connectors and plug it in. So now you've got all your LED lighting done. So let's go ahead and we'll plug that into that. But then what I want to do is I want to take my power. So I want to be able to control the fans and plug it into the Commander Pro. That's where you can get your individually addressable fans. So you can go ahead and I can plug it into there. This, the node, is going to plug into the Commander Pro. Yeah, it sounds like a lot. I mean, there's a great forum on the Corsair site, and I will link it to you so you can see that. So you can see all kinds of different ways that you can hook this up, because you can also use it from the Corsair water cooling stuff and their LED strips. So you can control everything basically from this. Now, as you can tell, it's kind of big though, right? Fortunately, I think like everybody, not too many people are using the physical drives anymore. So I'm going to go ahead and pop these cages out because I use SSDs, and I'm just going to go ahead and mount it right into these spots and have perfect. All the fan wires come in perfectly. I mean, I don't know what else I could ask for. I got the wiring all installed for the Commander Pro. Now I just got to go through and make sure I've got everything connected correctly. So as you can see, I did leave it kind of as a mess, but there was a reason because of that. The reasoning is in case I put it in the wrong spots, you know, because what I wanted to do was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Who knows? I could have made it, you know, 1, 3, 2, 5, 6, and 4. Who knows? But I'm going to leave it this bad-looking situation as it is until I can make sure that I have the right sequence that I wanted, and then I'll go ahead and clean that up. All the hardware is in the 500D. Plus, you can see, got the lighting going on the RGB fans. So what's really kind of cool is, like what we've been talking about, was the Commander Pro, right? So you can adjust the lights and do what you want to do. Now, just like I said earlier, I'm glad I left this undone in the back and that I was able to get to it because I did have 2 of the fans switched. So I was able to correct that. But as you can see right now, it's all in a static color, right? So you can kind of see where all the fans are at. Very easily to go around and go through and change stuff on the fly, right? So let's say you want to do like some kind of a strobing effect. And what represents on the screen is that you can actually see the fans and what color each fan is going through. I can do random colors, or I can pick a color that I'd like to do. So let's say maybe I want to do kind of a light blue, maybe kind of a color, and you can see that it does that as well. Or I can go through and I can say, okay, I want to do just back to the static color. You can do that. So the visor, you'll see it goes right from the front to the back, front to the back. So you'll see what happens. So that's kind of a cool effect, right? So it goes one from the next to the next to the next to the next. You can also do the like the rainbow wave. So we can also do like a marquee, you know, the old marquee lights where the lights are flashing and stuff. So you can change the colors to whatever you want. So you get a fast color going, or you want like this color, and you can see the colors are changing on the fly, which is really kind of cool. Or you can go really slow. There's all kinds of different stuff that you can pick in here. You can do custom setups. So what I've done here is a gradient. So what's kind of cool is you can do all kinds of stuff with this. I mean, just got to do and play around with it. So I can add, let's say this, and let's say I want to throw like a red in there. let's say I want to add another one, but I want to do, let's say right about here. For some reason I want to throw a blue in just to change the color up. So you've got a lot of different options that you can do. I do like the power supply cover. Awesome idea that you can take it off, you can take the screws out, you can do with what you want. Plenty of space back here. I mean, I was able to put my whole fist in here, plus all the wiring that I could possibly jam back in there was great. The Commander Pro stuff, I like the effects you can get, but man, does that throw in a lot of cables on the back side of it. Now that puts me back to the tempered glass panel. It makes it kind of hard to hide it, you know, unless maybe this side was a darker, you know, tempered glass, or maybe it's a tempered glass but maybe with a black backing on it, so that you kind of hide everything, because you're really not going to be able to hide all this wiring. I mean, it's a spaghetti mess of wiring on the back side of it. I think no matter if I spent 6 hours trying to clean it up, it's still not going to look that great. Yeah, I just kind of think that the tempered glass panel on the side is kind of a waste. Overall though, the case, I really like the case. I mean, I really do. I like where all the pass-throughs are at. So you've got this big open area here, which is great if you're going to be putting a radiator in there, and then maybe you want to put a reservoir and a pump. There's plenty of hose. So that's what's really cool here, right? Lots and lots of holes, slots and holes to mount just about anything you can think of right in this area. I put a lot of thought into this. I really kind of like it. The aluminum though gets a little greasy. I don't know if I want to say it, but your fingerprints kind of show up on that. I wish it was more maybe of a satin finish, but you know, that's just the way things happen to go. Overall, I really do like the case. I think it's got a great load of potential. It's got a lot of nice things to it. I would definitely recommend this if I was on a scale of, let's say 1 to 10, and probably in the 7.58 scale, depending on what you want. If you're not going to go with the RGB lighting and do the Commander Pro, then you'll have a really nice tidy area on the back side of it. If you're just going to go with a minimal, you got those cages that you put the fans on, or the radiators. Really love that. Again, out of a 10, I'd get probably a 7.5. There you go. Hope you liked the deep dive into the Corsair 500D, and also we took a pretty in-depth look at the Commander Pro and the ML RGB lighting fans. Hope you liked it. Please subscribe, check out some other videos that we have, and thanks for watching.